This is show 106 of the Cloth Diaper Podcast. Today I'm joined with Nicole McCormick from Cozy Bottoms Diapers. Welcome back to the Cloth Diaper Podcast, a super niched, super awesome podcast all about cloth diapering. That's right, we seriously only talk about cloth diapering. I mean, every now and then we kind of get off base, but we always get back to our core, and we're looking to connect with other cloth diapering parents, brands, and retailers around the world to learn a wide variety of lessons, experiences, and opportunities. My name is Bailey. I am the host, and I am just a parent like you. I cloth diapered my babies from about 2015 to 2019. I had 2 kids, and I currently live in northern British Columbia. Since my kids are finished cloth diapering, I find myself in what is the most honorable role that exists in this community, the role of listening and sharing and gathering information and putting it out there for you. You, the curious cloth diaper parent, the curious cloth diaper retailer, and the curious person. The Cloth Diaper Podcast is about to turn 4 years old this year, which is absolutely crazy. With 106 shows, we have a full schedule for 2022, and I cannot wait to bring you some great new topics, including some not cloth diaper topics. Are you here for that? You'll be here for that, I know. If you're not already, please go visit clothdiaperpodcast.com. Sign up for my newsletter. It's the best way to stay in the know and in touch with whatever is going on, including sponsorship codes. Well, today's sponsor does not have a code. She is fantastic. Fun fact, most of these sponsorship posts that I'm about to share with you, I record myself and write them myself. But this one, I'm just going to wing it. Today's show is brought to you by Shine Cloth. If you've been listening to the show for some time, you may know about Shine Cloth because you listened to her episode on the Cloth Diaper Podcast that was released in January. If so, this is a reminder to go visit her at www.shinecloth.com. That is SHINECLOTH.com. Shine Cloth. Shine Cloth is owned by Deja, who is the person behind this handmade and curated cloth diaper brand based in Los Angeles, California. Shine Cloth Diapers sells a variety of products, including cloth diaper covers, snap-in inserts, pins, and more. Shine Cloth Diapers drop on a regular basis, and she's also expanding into some great new products, including fitted diapers and more. Be sure to follow Shine Cloth Diapers wherever you engage on social media, or drop into our website, www.shinecloth.com, and sign up for that email list. Now on to the show with Nicole from Cozy Bottoms. I do have her pocket diaper here in my stash, and I most likely have already written a review about it. So you can find that in the information box about this show. The link to her product review will be there. It is, oh my gosh, the most beautiful product on the planet.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you for having me on the show.
Oh,
first of all, I really appreciate it. So I started cloth diapering when I was just pregnant with actually our last kid, our final kid, Noel. What brought me
How
to
many
cloth
do you
diapering? I have 4. So I have a 13-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and now she's 18 months.
Full house.
So I have 4, yes, full house. And I take care of my grandmother, who is 90 years old, who has dementia. So That's like a 5th kid, I guess you could say too.
Yes. You are dealing, what's that? You're like the sandwich generation there. You got it all that you're juggling.
Yeah. I'm doing a whole lot at one time. Mm-hmm. But I basically started off cloth diapering because of the pandemic. Seriously. So I'm pregnant with my kid. I'm watching the news and I'm like, dude, everything is flying off the shelves. I don't want to have to fight someone to get some diapers for my kid. Like I felt like I was going to be in a position where I'm like, being pregnant, trying to rush and bum rush people, everything was gone. So I was like, okay, so let's look into what we're going to be doing with this kid. And I was fortunate enough to my previous kids, I actually was fortunate enough to work at the post office, and they filled up like cartons, like basically a whole mail truck full of like diapers where they were disposables, and I kind of didn't have to worry about it. So it's like, I didn't really know about cloth diapering. I feel like a lot of the people in the Black community didn't know about cloth diapering. They don't really speak about it. When we told everybody we were cloth diaper in our kid, they're like, what? Let's see if you can keep up with it. That was kind of like, me and my husband were just like, man, forget it. That's what we're going to do. So I just kind of started researching. I started looking at all the different like brands, kind of just, okay, what can I afford at this time? Let me, what's going to be a good stash start. So I started looking into Facebook groups, joining Facebook groups like Cloth Diaper from Beginners and Black Moms at Cloth Diaper. Like, what is cloth diapering all about? And then you have everyone who's kind of telling you about cloth diapers and like, this, how much should I have in my stash? And I had all those questions of like, how do I wash this? Or, then I have to learn about hard water and soft water. And I'm like, oh God, this is a lot. But because of the pandemic, it was like, I have to have something for my kids. So I just started off basically cloth diapering her. I think we started cloth diapering day 2 when she was born. Like her first day, I was so out of it from having a C-section. I nearly died having her. So with that being said, I'm glad to be here. So when I had her, I had, I think, a Greener Odyssey newborn diaper, and it fit her super good. It was their little bumblebee print, and I call her my little busy bee. And it was just so cute. And I was like, okay, I got to keep this up. But, being a new mom, having all the kids, I'm like, all right, I don't know if I could do this. So I kind of like stopped.
Yeah, you got.
And for like the first few, like 2 months in, I had kind of stopped, and I was kind of given some diapers, and I was given a box of Pampers. And my baby got the biggest rash. I felt like the most terrible mom. I was like, you know what? We have all these diapers. My husband's like, dude, you have to use these diapers. Okay, let me start, cloth diapering her and kind of get like a routine. We had jumped into it like when she was real little, but just life happened. So I'm like, once she turned 3 months, we went full cloth. And I was just like, all right, I really love this whole cloth thing.
3 months is kind of an easier phase of motherhood too. You're a little bit out of that immediate overwhelm.
Right. I was just over, and then like having a wash routine down and just kind of like looking up that, not knowing like what I was doing. I'm like, is it okay? They're like, you're breastfeeding. Just throw that thing inside the washing machine. You're fine. I was like, oh, it's a lot easier than I can. I'm just gonna throw it in there, and I was like, oh, it worked. But
yeah,
of course, I was thinking, later on,
I am thinking like, I've been doing this podcasting now for a long time, like 4 years, which feels forever, but it is absolutely surreal to me that I am talking to a woman who had a baby in the pandemic and then started a business. Because I'm like, have we really been in a pandemic this long that people are starting businesses and coming out on this other side? And it's been 2 years. You just started. This is all new. Your brand is so beautiful and so polished, and your products were incredible that I am so surprised to hear. I mean, I did a little snooping, but I didn't do a deep dive because I figured you'd tell me your story. That this is like all happened in less than 2 years. This whirlwind into cloth as a mom of 4. You're dealing with preteens. Like I've heard that's worse than 3-year-olds. And cloth diapering. So why did you decide to start your own brand? When we started talking, you said you had a corporate job. So I'm not seeing a seamstress connection, but what happened there?
Right. So basically during the pandemic, I'm on maternity leave, and I'm like, dude, I do not want to go back to work. What am I going to do if I lose my job? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't want to expose my grandma to COVID. And, I work at a corporate office. I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. So honestly, I just fell in love with cloth diapering, and I just started looking up stuff. I'm joining groups, Etsy groups, patterning groups, sewing groups. I'm looking at YouTube videos, falling asleep, literally holding my phone, learning. My husband is like, what are you doing? I'm like researching. I'm researching like how like thick the inserts need to be. I'm like buying just out of nowhere. Basically, when we had got our stimulus check, I literally invested the stimulus money to buy my sewing machines and serger. So I kind of just took it to be like, okay, they're giving us this money. if I end up losing my job and I don't want to expose my grandma to COVID or, myself or my family, let's see what I can do. So my husband was like, babe, what's this package? I'm like, yeah, it's a sewing machine. He's like, you're really going to do this? I'm like, yeah, I'm really going to do this. He's like, babe, do you think you can do this? You don't even know how to sew. Like, have you ever sewn in your life? I'm like, nope, don't really know, but I did a lot of research. I'm sitting here like looking up threads.
That's how they all start. You guys all do it this way. Nobody comes into this industry as a seamstress. I always think I'm going to hear this story about, I went to school for fashion. Well, I did hear that story the other day. I haven't even recorded. Anyways, but it's just like some mom on YouTube learning how to sew with their sewing machine they bought off the internet, full from scratch. It's just incredible every time.
Yeah. So basically that's kind of what happened. As I'm researching, I'm trying to find out like, what's the best stuff? Like the best thread. Like I'm like asking all these questions. So what's the best thread to get? Okay, Gutermann thread's good. All right. I'm like looking up everything of what to get. What's the best insert? The GSM. What is it? What does that mean? I'm like learning. I'm like, okay, what kind of fabric is this? What kind of fabric do I need? How do I find this fabric? So basically asking all those questions, that kind of helped me kind of build the brand. And you
obviously asked all the right questions, because when I received your product last week, I was just blown away with the quality of everything. I have your insert. I guess that's the only thing I can find right now. I guess it's downstairs, but like beautiful. Like this is beautiful, Nicole, for somebody who like, you went in and you found what you wanted and you like went for it.
Yeah. So once I found that out, basically I started sewing up some stuff and testing it on my daughter. I'm like, at this time, I don't have the best sewing machine, and I'm trying, I'm learning like different stuff with threads and how to get the tension right and stuff that I was like trying to perfect in my craft, but not really knowing. So I'm like, okay, I'm not ready to do this. So we had actually all got COVID in December of 2020. And at this time, of course, the business hasn't launched yet, but I'm learning. And I kind of like just put sewing to the side. And my husband's like, all right, you bought this machine in October. January's coming around. He's like, you're going to have to be back from maternity leave. And I'm like, I know. And he's just like, well, you bought all this stuff. You better use it. I'm like, all right. Don't give it up. So he's like pushing me. And I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm so nervous about being some terrible product, but I'm trying. So I got like a Facebook group back in November. Like when I first started, got the name from actually a family member. Our last name is McCormick. So my husband is like big on like asking people questions on social media. So he posted it. He's like, my wife's making all these cool diapers. And what do you think we should name our business? And then his cousin was like, Macozy Bottoms. And because I didn't know what name we wanted to do. And I was just like, I feel like when the name happens, I'm going to know like that's the name. When I hear it, I know that's going to be the name. So we were like going through different names and I wasn't liking it. And then when he asked that question and his cousin said it, I'm like, that's it. That's the name. I was so excited. I was like, that's the name. I love it. So I was like, honey, delete the comment. That's the name. We're going with that. Just forget it. That's how we came up with Macozy Bottoms. It matches our last name.
You've answered the question at the end of my list here. Exactly. I always love what's in a name. It is a fantastic name.
I love the fact that it matches our last name. It's like a family business. So me and my husband, I'm operating it more solely, but last year, like my husband was in it, like really heavy with helping me with everything, like cutting stuff, sewing, putting buttons on.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You need that. Yeah. You need a hand, really. I was going to say, like your 13-year-old or your husband's probably a better choice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's totally a better, like I was having him cut like so much stuff for me. And this year I was like, I'm taking more on just to myself, just kind of smaller quantities. But basically we had launched the group. He pushed me to go ahead and do it. And I had went back to work starting February. And at that time we were still in the office because I had a baby and, you're technically high risk having a kid. They actually sent us all home. So I was like, okay, now I'm working from home, working for the bank from home. I'm like, okay, this is perfect, but if they still end up sending this back, I need to figure out what I'm going to do. So I kept I kept it up. My husband pushed me and was like, okay, we're just going to invite all of our friends to the Facebook group. I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, I'm going to put it on my wall. I have 3,000 friends. You have friends and moms. Let's start inviting a list of people to the group. I'm like, okay, let's do it. He's like joining all these mom groups.
I love husbands because they're shameless. They just they just do it, like we're just here sitting through the what are people going to think of us? Oh my gosh, we can't force this on anybody. They have to come to it. They're going to think we're weird. I can't do this. And husbands are just like, WTF, why just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just ask.
You're just worrying yourself. You're just worrying yourself. Just go. So he just jumps in there. And then at this time, I still haven't even officially got the business legally. I just was sewing, and he goes, all right, have people comment what they want. So then they're commenting what they want. I'm sending them my PayPal to my personal PayPal at that time to pay. And then my husband's like, well, you got these people money. You better go ahead and get this stuff done. I'm like, yes, I better. I was just so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I am so nervous. I just learned how to sew 3 months ago. I'm not really the best.
Nicole, please. One of these questions that I have written down here, which feels so silly now, is I wrote down this thought when I received your diaper. I was like, wow, this is so polished. She's done such a great job. She's thought through the snap. She's thought through all of these incredible pieces of your diaper. And here you are telling me the most wild business plan that had absolutely no planning involved in it. And I was going to ask you how you put together such a well-articulated product. And I just feel like you took me through a tornado. So I'm not sure.
My husband took me to a tornado myself. I was freaking out and panicking. So we kind of launched it the 29th. And then on February the 1st, which is today, Petite Crown actually posted all the Black cloth diapering companies. And that was big. That was big for me. And shout out to Petite Crown. That was love, being a new business. I'm not really knowing and she's huge. So I'm like, wow, this is so awesome. And I'm like, my husband's like, okay, so now you're getting out there, somebody big is putting your name out there. So what you going to do now? And I'm like, okay, I need to get a website. I need to go legit. Let me go get the LLC, the EIN number, let me go ahead and get the bank account. I got all that stuff established in 10 days, right after she posted it.
I know. So, I'm going to send this clip to Mari. I'll call her up right after this. I'll call Mari and I'll be like, Mari, Nicole said you kicked her ass in gear. You got this girl going. Kudos.
Yes. And that honestly, shout out to her. Thank you, Mari, so much. If you listen to this, thank you.
Oh, she does. Because I saw she just listened to Shine.
I don't know. Without that, I just don't know how big we actually could have been. Just that shout out meant a lot as a new business owner. And her not even knowing me. I'm like, how did she even know my name? So that was awesome in itself.
I remember last year that post coming out because she had done some amazing research. And she showed up so many Black-owned creators in this industry that I feel like I keep a good pulse. And I was just like, wow, look at all these women. She did a huge job of finding y'all. That's one of the hardest things about being a small business, or at least I find my perspective, being an advocate of small businesses, is finding you. Because you're off in your own little worlds doing and promoting in your own community, right? And so we'll have to pass on Mari, share the love with her. She's been a huge advocate of supporting.
Yes. And I love, and Black Lives, period. And I love that about her. And that's kind of what kicked it off. Honestly, her post is what kicked it off. I think that's what helped. 1
year ago.
Yes, today.
Wow. Yes. All right.
Kicked it off for us. So then
it's the season of cloth diaper births. This is everybody has their birthday kind of in January and February. It's just something that happens in our industry, I find. It just happens.
My birthday's in October, but my son was born in January. But basically, when she did that, I was like, okay, this is great. And I started getting more orders and I went legit. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? So I actually started looking into pre-flats and, different designs. I had the pocket and I'm still working on that, working on how do I make the best sewing skills. Like, what do I need to do? How do I make this product that's going to be sustainable for years to come? I want to see like one old diaper, you know, passed down like 7 years, you know, sold on the BST group, passed down like, wow, this is like 10 years in, you know, that's kind of like what I've been trying to build. And the pre-flats hat came out. And at that time, I really didn't know everything about pre-flats, but that's what kind of took me off because it was kind of like brand new, you know, stretchy pre-flats. A lot of the work at home moms, I didn't see, it seemed like to me, you know, because I mean, I was new to cloth diaper. It just seemed like it was kind of like brand new. Stretchy pre-flats was like a new thing. So I think that's what kind of like built the Cozy Bottom brand, even though like my love is for pocket diapers, like my passion. I love making pockets, you know?
Really? Okay. So, I mean, that's okay. We should talk about that. We should hit a pause button and let's talk about this pocket diaper because not a lot of work at home moms make them. And I wasn't sure what was going to be in my package because sometimes like I see you guys email me and I'm consuming a lot of information. So I get it. And I actually didn't know what to expect inside of it. And I pulled out a pocket, but then you're also telling me you're a work at home mom. And I was a little confused because we don't see that a lot. Working with a PUL and a sewing machine, like people generally don't like it. Why are you sewing a pocket diaper, Nicole? Why is that your love? What do you love about it? I want to know.
It was the very first diaper that I had ever had was a pocket diaper. And it was actually Alpha Baby. And I was just like, you know what? I like this, but I want this with the athletic wicking jersey. And I want it to be really soft and luxurious pull. And basically, I'd actually asked that question in the group why a lot of work at home moms don't sew pocket diapers.
Yeah, they don't.
And I just think it was just hard. It's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of, you know, I have a snap press, semi-automatic machine. I was using my hands at first with the table press. Oh, it was terrible. And I was like, oh no, I got to figure out this way better to be able to get something.
A lot of people hire like, just take a snap girl, one girl to do it. They're like, I can't do this anymore.
I bought a semi-automatic snap press machine. That baby, I'll stick it down there, does it for me. I just got to stick the button and makes it 10 times easier. So basically what got me loving the pocket was just the fact that I just like that you can customize how much you need to be able to stuff in the pocket for the baby. Like if, you know, my daughter at first, she only had the snake insert, you know, that's all she really needed. Now I could do the snake in the booster. I could stick a pre-flat in that thing, you know, which is awesome. I could stick a trifold. Awesome. And I can customize the absorbency to my kid. So that's kind of like why I love the pocket. I love the fit of it. You know, I just love how big it gets. It's super stretchy. I don't know.
I just love everything about it. Diapers. So it's the diaper you make. Is that what you would say is like, if anybody was to try one product from a Cozy Bottoms, is that your staple? Is that your signature piece?
Because it was my first ever make, I feel like, yes. It's just that I am competing with a lot of mass production and a lot of people that make cloth diapers, you know, overseas. And that's hard. That's why a lot of the work at home moms, you know,
they don't. I mean, the profit margins aren't there. It's hard to convince somebody to spend the money on it as well. You guys, like, I know this is audio, but Nicole's pocket is incredible, beautiful. Something I was chatting with another friend the other day in the industry about was we've seen a lot of brands emerge over the last couple of years, but it's a lot of the same old, unfortunately. And something that's been missing has been like this emergence of really strong quality products. And it's a niche. It's not for everybody, right? Like it's not a budget item, but there's something beautiful also about having like a beautiful product. Like it's so cool to see this craftsmanship that you put into it and all of that. I love the Cozy Bottom snap and the PUL was so soft, and the athletic wicking jersey too. Like it surreal. I felt like I got to go compare it to my other stuff. I was just like, Nicole has blown it out of the park with this product. But you don't just create pockets. You've also do a pre-flat and Grow With Me clothing.
Yes. So the Grow With Me clothing, I have my seamstress do. I haven't had the chance to be able to even have the time to be able to do that, but I wanted to bring that. I actually do a lot of polls in my group, and I just kind of ask them, what do they want to see from my shop? Like my feedback and my customers, that's how we thrive. I'm dead serious. I'm always asking questions.
Well,
Like,
it sounds
what
like,
do you
right,
guys
your
want to see? What do you
husband
guys want to
throws
do?
in everybody into this group, and you've just been propelling for a year and some based on like feedback from customers. And you know what? I think Mari does that too at Petite Crown and everybody else, like customers ask, okay, well, yeah, let's pivot. Let's see if that's something I can do. And then you do it and you put it out and people are excited and they keep going.
Right. So basically, I just wanted to, everybody wants me to bring out covers, and I decided to partner with Bumby. I love the fact that having just an elastic free time. So just using my pre-flat and Bumby's wool cover, I just felt like that was the perfect pair to give people the elastic break that they need. So that's the reason why I chose like to be able to do that. I love Bumby's wool. Like, it is amazing. The
She's
tie-dye is amazing.
She's doing great things too.
Her turnaround time is amazing. Everything is amazing about Bumby. I love the quality, and I felt like that was the best partnership that I can have. So that's why I had looked into partnering with her. I plan to do future partners with like other people, just like collaborations. I am planning that for this year with Shine. I'm planning that with her. Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. We're going to do something for Juneteenth. Also,
okay, write that down. Juneteenth. That is June 19th, isn't it?
Yes. So we're going to do a collab.
Canadian. June 19th. Just also Bailey.
Basically, that's kind of what got our name out there. It was the perfect nighttime diaper. A good amount of thickness that we have in our pocket. In our pre-flat. The good GSM that we have, the high absorbency. They love it. They loved it. So, and I love it too. We do use a lot of pre-flats, but I just kind of go through like a hate-love relationship. I'm being completely honest. There's times where I just love my pre-flats and covers. That's all. Then there's just times where I love my pockets. I just so happen to be in that time right now where I'm just like, I just love throwing my little girl in a pocket. And that's maybe because she's like super mobile and like really everywhere. That I don't know. I just feel like just the grip on with the elasties and her little crazy things that she does. I do cover free time with her. So sometimes like her snappy gets snagged on, like,
and then it's kind of like, but it's not a fun. I saw on your Instagram the other day that you mentioned your pocket has what you classified a McCozy fit. What's a McCozy fit?
I guess what I call it the McCozy fit is because I did a few comparisons. I didn't have a whole lot. I had people comparing my diapers to like the manufacturing made diapers, and just to see how snugly or like how much room they have to grow. Like I see a lot of people who, they're hanging on by a thread at the hip, right? Like they're hanging, just is like nothing there to be able to grip and hold on. So I say the McCozy fit is like, you kind of have like more of a snug fit. It's trim. It's a more like trimmer fit on the babe. And I just feel like the McCozy fit is just everything you need in a diaper. You can use it as a swim diaper too, because it's the athletic wicked jersey, which is awesome. It's super soft. It dries pretty fast as well. And that's kind of like what we call the McCozy fit, just meaning that it's pretty cozy on your kid, like all
perfect.
sizes.
That is that's a great choice. What is so it's been just over a year. I mean, this show will go out kind of in the spring. What has been, I'm humming between two questions, but what has been something that has really challenged you? Maybe your biggest challenge over the last year?
Balance with work life and home life and business life. Like I do have my regular 9-to-5 job. Then I have my kids and their extracurricular activities.
And your grandmother.
Yes, and my grandmother. And we were pushing out so much last year that me and my husband were just, I didn't know if I wanted to continue. This year, at the end of this year, I was just like, I'm taking a break. We took a month off in December to recoup. And I was just like, we have to figure out another game plan because I don't want to get burned out. Like it was my first year. I'm trying to push out as much product. I can't keep up. Like I know that I cannot keep up with mass production. I'm, me, a family team, that's all we have. And I love the handmade. A lot of people, once they try like a handmade shop, they love it, and my first handmade diaper was Rebel Bottoms fitted diaper. And I loved it. And I was like, man, I need something like this. And I just feel like if people give work at home moms the chance, it would be awesome to be able to see more work at home.
Yeah. Where do you want to be in 5 years then? So will you regrouped in December? What do you want to do? Are you planning on going for another 5 years? Do you want to?
I just kind of put it at what I'm going to do this as long as it's fun. Right now, this is my craft. This is fun to me. I love to be able to do it. I'm literally working with different designers to make like that exclusive print that you have.
Yeah,
so that you only can get that print from my shop. I started working with a whole bunch of different designers all over the world to have custom made prints made just for my shop. So in that colorway, you'll only see it at our shop. Like you only can get that print with us. So that's our exclusive prints. And then we do non-exclusive where you could possibly get it other places, but the exclusive prints you only can get there. So I guess I just want to be able to work with artists too. Yes, it is so much fun. It's crazy. Like I've spent a lot of money too, like working with
bless you on paying artists. Yes, thank you to the artists for their creativity out there.
Exactly. So basically, I guess where I see my cozy bottoms, hopefully we're gonna just expand. I want to stay handmade, which I know that I'm not. I know that with this, my plan is to hopefully quit my 9-to-5 job to sew full time, and then just be sustainable. I want to be able to be sustainable. I'm not trying to get rich, but I do want to be. If I'm going to be doing this, I want to be at least getting paid as much as my 9-to-5, and that's hard with being a work-at-home mom brand and going up against mass production. It's just so hard. I know I keep saying that. It's just so hard. I'm just like, how do they do it? I look at behind and how she's been sustainable for this time. I'm like, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I'm learning that. I'm being honest. I'm completely learning that right now. I'm learning the business. I'm the first to ever own a business. And that's why I keep my 9-to-5 because insurance. Yeah. Insurance and like, that's the reason why I keep my 9-to-5. Like my desire is, but it's just that it's hard to go against other brands and you have a higher price product than other ones. And they're like, I'm going to choose this diaper over it. I'm like, at
the end of the day, sometimes we can convince people though, through our brand story and the product that we're doing. And, not everybody is shopping for the bottom line. Some people are shopping for incredible products and for customer service and for stories and for knowing that they're supporting small business. You started off this, where in the world are you, Nicole?
I'm in Arizona, actually. I'm in Glendale, Arizona, and I have lived here and bought a home here. Me and my husband just 2 years ago. We're actually the first to ever buy a home. So in our family, and the first to ever own a business in our family. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of firsts here with my husband.
Well, congratulations on all the firsts. I think you started off the chat talking about when you decided to diaper your baby. Not a lot of Black families that you knew were also cloth diapering. Have you found that you've exposed more Black families in your area to cloth diapering? How has that kind of gone for you? Your husband invited everybody he knew to your Facebook group. So has there been a positive? How's that reaction?
That reaction is good. From our family friends that have had kids, they have supported. Like my first customers, honestly, were supporters that never cloth diapered, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
It was I remember like, oh man, this is my friend from, high school. Or this is my friend from college, and he's like, oh yeah, this is my friend. So it was pretty cool because I'm sending diapers out to people that have never cloth diapered before ever. So just having that impact of having people try something new in itself, was super amazing. I'm like new to it myself.
Yeah, I'm learning as I go. New to it.
Yeah. I went through like different things where my diaper, I'm like, oh my gosh, it smells like ammonia. I gotta get this. I gotta get the best wash routine down. Like this is not working. Like I've been going through stuff myself. So just having, new people willing to give it a shot, give it a try. That's kind of like what boosted us to keep it going because it's like, wow, they actually trust in us. So I always take it with like honor that anyone that trusts me to be able to make a diaper for their baby, especially when it's their newborn too, like that means so much to us because it's like, you trusted me and my work to be able to make this and have, some diapers part of your stash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's like,
What I was going to say is somebody asked me the other day, they're like, oh, I've always thought about starting a cloth diaper brand, but I just feel like the market is so saturated. And every time I'm like, no, it's not, because there's abundance. And exactly your story there. We aren't competing for the same customers. We are creating new customers with every brand that emerges. Like, you started a brand and all of your first customers were non-cloth parents. Like, wow. I got shivers. I just think it's so amazing and beautiful. And
so I'm like giving them things that I'm learning, you know, as I've learned on my journey. I'm sending them information. They're like learning about, you know, rise snaps and, you know, snappies and things that they never knew. So I do have like a couple of people that were cloth parents, and, you know, I love the feedback that I get. Like, what can we do different to better our product? And having those few that did cloth diaper that bought and stuck through it, you know, because I was a new sewer. And I've had day one people to stick through like what you see now. And that means a lot, you know, that means so much, because I looked at which my kid had it on today. She had on one of our first diaper makes. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I sold these things. You know, like, yeah. I was just thinking like,
wow, I watch my first YouTube videos and I go, oh my God, I filmed that. Like,
yeah, I was just like, this, you know, it's so much better now. And I'm just so happy to see the growth with myself, and then be able to see other people wearing it, and just be able to know that some of the stuff is sustainable. Like, the first diapers that I made was like the testers. This is before I started learning what products to put together, what the best elastins were, you know, and just handling like certain issues with like customer service. You know, that was a little bit of a challenge for us, because I'm like, you know, what do I do? This is all handmade. You know, do I have them just ship it back? So then I was like, you know what? I want people to have good stuff. We're just going to go ahead and warranty the elasties and our snaps. If there's any issue with your snaps or your elasties, send the diaper back to us. We'll get it fixed for you to ship it back out, you know, because we are a growing brand, was a brand new brand. So we went ahead and kept that around.
All right. Okay. So if somebody is convinced and they got to have a Makosi bottom diaper, where are they going to go? How can we shop with you, Nicole?
Yeah, so you want to go, everything is Makosi Bottoms. You can go to makosibottoms.com. Our Instagram is @MakosiBottoms. Our Facebook group is Makosi Bottoms as well. We have a BST group there, and you can definitely come shop with us anytime. Any questions, feel free to ask. We actually have a Facebook page as well, Makosi Bottoms. Hit us up anytime. I always say, feel free to jump in our DMs, because we are here for you.
Thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Cloth Diaper Podcast. I absolutely loved having the opportunity to connect with Makosi Bottoms, because this was one of those episodes where you see everything that we have been doing in this industry together, by ourselves, in our own internet spaces, kind of come together. You know, we have Petite Crown just lifting up this brand to this point where she's now thriving in her business and taking time off from her business. Shout out to Shine for sponsoring today's episode of the Cloth Diaper Podcast. If you don't already know, Deja is amazing, and you should shop with Shine Cloth, shop with Makosi Bottoms, shop with Petite Crown. Tell all of your friends, because we cannot do all this shopping together. So obviously we must go forth and let the world know how much amazingness there is when it comes to this industry. I am so excited because this weekend I'm headed off to ABC Kids, guys. There will be a show next week because we have so much content to share with you. But if you are curious about all that is going on at ABC Kids, I will be meeting Taya from Baby Boo. I'll be meeting Katie Hare, and I am so excited. I'll see you online. Bye, guys.